Hello and welcome to today's video. So today we'll talk about calorie counting, yay or nay. So this is a dieting method I touched on the dieting method video. So I mentioned that calorie counting can be used for to reach your goal, whether it's to lose fat or to build muscle. And so today we'll dive a bit deeper, we'll find a bit more about what it is and how it's used, and also we'll look at the benefits and sort of the negatives of calorie counting. So let's dive straight into this. So first of all, what is it? So it is a popular dieting method, as mentioned earlier, and it's used to track our calories. So anything we eat or drink, we track. It's a more sort of modern technique. The more traditional technique used is food diaries, where we sort of write everything that we've eaten in a diary book. So this tracking calories is done through an app, so on your phone. So as you can see, it's more modern. So why do we do it? It's usually used as a tool to help achieve your fitness goal. So we understand our energy in portion of the energy balance, which gives us a better idea whether we are progressing and we're doing the right thing when it comes to reaching your goal. And how is it done? So the most popular app, and you might have heard of it or even used it if you've tried to track your calories before, and the app is called MyFitnessPal. So essentially, everything that you consume, whether it's food or drinks, you input it in the app, and it'll tell you how many calories you've consumed. So we need to weigh our food to ensure that the portion sizes are correct, and we can also use something within the app where you can scan the barcode and it'll just spit the information at you, which is quite handy and makes things a bit easier. Next question is it right for you? So that's when we're going to dive a bit deeper and find out whether it's something that you want to try or not. So a few reasons why I would recommend tracking your calories. Number one is the food education. So essentially, when you track your calories, we get a better idea of calorie density of food, which then gives us the power to make our own food decision, which is suited to our goals. So I like to use the calorie counting tool as a way to educate, and then which will then lead to, let's say, losing weight. So instead of just using the tool as a way to lose fat, we use the tool to educate, and it's the education that will get you closer to your goal. And yeah, so it's essentially the end process, the end goal will be the same, but it's just adding that sort of step in between. So making sure that we are using this tool to learn more about food and learning food portions, food calorie densities, and getting a better understanding of food options, for example. So then it gives us a greater control over our goals. So it gives us this control over our energy intake. This can also be recorded and used in parallel with our progress tracking. So this is something I'll talk a bit more in the future, but whenever you're tracking your progress and you find that maybe the progress is slowing down, you sort of have a better control of what to change and how to change it. And it can also be a very good tool to help with mindfulness and awareness of your food. So it's very often we tend to crave something and just grab what we have and go straight to eating it. So with tracking, because we need to have a moment to input everything on the app, we have that little pause in between. So from grabbing the food to eating it, there'll be, I don't know, a couple of minutes that we need to put everything in, and that gives us the time to be more aware. We can ask ourselves, am I hungry for this, or is this the right thing for me right now? Yeah, so this can be quite beneficial when it comes to dieting, for example. And lastly, it's free to try, so you can download the app through the App Store. I have no link with it, so I don't get paid to say this, but yeah, essentially it's free to use, so it might be worth trying out. Right, so now let's look at why it could be a problem. So calorie tracking may be triggering and obsessive. So if you find that while tracking your calories, you're struggling to take your mind off it, this is the only thing you can think of. It's causing a bit of food preoccupation, and you're just not feeling right. It might be worth reconsidering it. So it might not be the right thing for you at that point. Second is it may be imprecise or inaccurate, and hence is not an exact science. So the reason why it can be imprecise is due to human error while we are measuring it. So if you are measuring a cup of rice, for example, first of all, is it measuring cooked rice or uncooked rice? But also, it's always slightly off when using a scale. So there's all those sort of little errors that can come into play. And secondly, there's inaccuracy in the labels. So the FDA, so the Food and Drug Administration, has a rule that allows companies to have up to 20% discrepancy on the figures that they show compared to what's written on compared to what's in the actual food. So if you think about this, 20% can be quite considerable. So this is just to show that there is no need to stress about every single calorie. So usually I would recommend to be about 100 calories within your target. But any more or less than this is just to have an idea, really. We don't have to hit this number exactly. And yeah, and lastly, it may not work for everyone. Like I mentioned earlier, it can be triggering, it can become obsessive. If you have a history of negative relationship with food, I wouldn't recommend trying this. It might be worth thinking, first of all, if dieting is the right thing for you at that point. I would probably recommend to step away from this and find a different strategy that would be a bit more suited to you. So yeah, so if this is something that interests you, if you want to get into tracking your calories and you're unsure how to approach it, or you want to know more about whether it's the right thing for you, please get in touch. This is the sort of thing I do. I work with many people who are trying to find the best method for them. And yeah, so I'll be more than happy to discuss and find out what is the best method for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hope you have a good day. Take care.